Question 43 is: do our dreams have any meaning? Our nighttime dreams can indeed have meaning. They fall into two main categories, one relating to the physical life, and the other to the spiritual. In relation to the physical life, many of our dreams reflect what we have been doing in our daily lives, our actions. They also reflect our desires and our emotions, including our fears and our worries. They can even concern something that is happening in the physical body. Everything we do, say or think in life is retained within the subconscious mind, often in symbolic form. Thus, for example, our subconscious symbolic interpretation for a romantic emotional upset may be reflected through a scene involving water, and if a severe upset, then our symbolic interpretation can be one of severe flooding, storms at sea, or something similar. Dreams can also reflect an illusion we have created whilst out of body on an astral plane, and people we recognize under such circumstances can be illusionary versions created by our subconscious minds. We can literally create our own fantasy, or nightmare. Such creations of our own thoughts can, sometimes at least, even be seen by spirit people and out-of-body explorers. I think Jürgen Zive reported this in one of his books. The subconscious mind is spiritual. Its function is more or less that of a go-between for our higher spirit mind and our physical consciousness. It effectively analyzes everything that happens to us, and stores the information as well as relaying it to our higher self-consciousness. While it also directs and controls what we often consider automatic functions within our physical body. Our breathing, for instance, is more or less an automatic function, as are the actions of our heart and stomach, so even during our sleep periods the subconscious mind remains active. On a spiritual level, our dreams can be divided into two aspects. In the first, what we remember when we wake from sleep can be memories of spirit world experiences or journeys. This is so because while we sleep a great many of us leave our physical bodies, our spirit takes a break in the spirit world. Remember, the spirit itself requires no sleep, it is only the physical body that needs this. Whilst we are visiting the spirit world, our home world, we may, perhaps, learn something that will serve us on earth or in spirit life. We may also wish to review our progress with our spirit guides, to see how we are doing in this physical life and whether we are achieving our soul objectives or how we might better facilitate this. We may also go simply for pleasure, a bit of rest and relaxation away from the dramas of the physical world, or we may take the opportunity to meet old friends and relatives. I have mentioned some of my own experiences of visiting and meeting relatives in the answer to question 2. When we wake up on earth, most of us can rarely remember visiting the spirit world in any great detail, if at all. This is because the physical consciousness functions through the brain, and this is incapable of processing the complete memory of our journeys. It is like trying to transfer detailed memories from a sophisticated master computer through an inferior single machine. It cannot cope, because it was never designed to be capable of this. The information therefore either fails to download or is fragmented and scrambled to such an extent that it often becomes unfathomable. It is also condensed, so the memories of what may have been several hours on Earth is squeezed into a few minutes of dream recollection when we wake in our physical bodies. The other spiritual aspect to recognize is that of dream messages. We are all capable of receiving these. In fact, this is often the ideal time for our spirit friends and guides to implant thoughts and ideas with us. Additionally, such messages can equally come from our own higher self-consciousness, that part of ourselves which remains free from the confusion of physical life. I suspect that the majority of people on Earth simply dismiss their dreams as meaningless. Yet there are a great many recorded cases of prophetic dreams on record, such as the number of people who foretold the sinking of the Titanic. One person who is quite famous for the accuracy of his dream messages is Chris Robinson, and some details of his gift can be seen in his book, Dream Detective. Some people who experience prophetic dreams see a literal scene, while others receive a dream message with the same meaning but in symbolic form. The reason why they may be symbolic is because the shorter the message, the greater the chance of us remembering the dream when we wake. Although the reason could also be because that is the way our spirit friends or guides prefer to implant the thoughts that we remember as our dreams. Although many people remember little of their dreams, if anything at all, they are effectively stored within our subconscious minds. Eventually, they may filter into our conscious thoughts, perhaps as a flash of inspiration or insight. I expect most of us have had call to say or heard the expression that has broken my dream when something in daily life causes the memory of a dream to come to mind. Because dreams can indeed have meaning, some people endeavor to train themselves to remember them, as Chris Robinson does, and keep a pen and paper by the bedside to record them immediately upon waking, even in the middle of the night. Occasionally, people remember dreams that include memories of past life experiences. I have personally had such recollections come to me. My ones were not upsetting or disturbing in any way, but for some they can be. For instance, they may concern a previous end-of-life trauma. The dream could reflect the fact that the person has never fully come to terms with the experience. This is because some aspect of the memory still needs to be released and until it is, may remain in the subconscious and surface again as a dream or nightmare. One way some people resolve such an issue is through hypnosis. A number of years ago, Andrea Fulks had great success with hypnosis in a TV program called Have I Been Here Before? As I type this, a number of these shows can still be viewed on YouTube. Incidentally, telepathic imagery is also a method often used to communicate information by those on the higher levels of the spirit world. Although on the higher levels of the spirit world, telepathic images effectively encapsulate the complete meaning of a thought without the possibility of confusion or misunderstanding.